At Neodyne Industries, we have successfully completed a global network consisting of 64 satellites. The project is named Starline Network. This is a monumental achievement.
Hey, Mike.
Starline will unite the world.
I don't think so. The Starline Network is a mere front for a plan to launch a nuclear satellite into space. VSSE has dispatched 2 agents to prevent the launch. Keith Martin, Robert Baxter,
There's some news.
Christy Ryan,
He's still alive.
Wild Dog,
It's almost ready. My dream will soon come true.
Ernesto Diaz, Time Crisis 2.
Your project is going down in flames. They'll be here soon.
Hello everybody, it is I, Tony aka TTBurger 88, and welcome back to more of my game reviews. Continuing my Time Crisis series review, I welcome you all to part 3. Last time, I took a look at Time Crisis Project Titan on the PlayStation, and gave it a 3 out of 10 because there were so many problems with the game, and it felt more like an expansion instead of an actual sequel to the original game. Today in part 3, I will be looking at the first Time Crisis game released on the PlayStation 2, and this game fixed most of the problems that Time Crisis Project Titan had, and brought the series back to its roots of the original Time Crisis. That game is Time Crisis 2, once again done by Namco, released first in the arcades in 1999, and then in 2001 on the PlayStation 2. I will start off by saying that I was totally surprised at how much better this game was compared to Time Crisis Project Titan. When you play Time Crisis 2 and look back on how much of a mess Time Crisis Project Titan was, it makes you realize that Time Crisis Project Titan was just one of those games that you held over until Time Crisis 2 came out, and it became one of those throwaway games that nobody plays when the better game comes out. I mean, when I heard about Time Crisis 2 coming out, I was like, so this game is better, because I didn't own this game on the PlayStation 2 like right away. I played it in the arcades and it was much better, but trying to find the game was kind of hard, but that's just what happened with me. And considering that Time Crisis 2 came out only 6 months later, it was a better idea to just wait until that game came out instead of wasting money on Time Crisis Project Titan, because it is what it is, a money grabber, because you pretty much wasted money on a game that felt unfair because it was a mess. But getting started here, Time Crisis 2 comes with a new GunCon controller called the GunCon 2, and I'll show you guys it right now. As you can see right here, the GunCon 2 is smaller than the original GunCon controller, and it feels easier to hold. And on the back here, it has a D-pad as well to navigate the menus and stuff. Like the first GunCon controller, the GunCon 2 was colored black in Japan, and in Europe it was blue, and while in North America, well, like the original GunCon, the GunCon 2 is orange. There was no GunCon 2 controller that was colored gray, but it's okay because it's basically just the same thing, just different color and stuff like that. You can also use the regular controller as well, but that's no surprise because the other 2 Time Crisis games were able to let you use the regular controller as well. But now let's get started with talking about Time Crisis 2 itself. The story takes place in the year 1997, where Neodyne Industries, led by Ernesto Diaz, announces a plan for a Starline network of 64 satellites that will unify the communications of all continents. However, VSSE agent Christy Ryan discovers the Neodyne Industries' real plan to launch an experimental nuclear satellite into space and sell it to the highest bidder. While attempting to escape with the evidence on Neodyne Industries, Christy is then discovered and barely manages to escape. She then contacts the VSSE about the information on Neodyne Industries, but was kidnapped by one of Ernesto's men, Yakov Ginski. Now it's up to 2 agents Keith Martin and Robert Baxter, who are the 2 main characters of this game. There are two other VSSE agents to save and rescue Christy and to stop Ernesto Diaz and Neodyne Industries with going through with their plans to launch the satellite. They also must be aware of Wild Dog, who is also in cahoots with Neodyne Industries and Ernesto Diaz. And before I start, there is no Richard Miller in this game, and it's not a big deal because I'm kind of glad that the game wasn't just based off Richard Miller, because I'm sure if they kept basing the game off Richard Miller as the one-man army and the VSSE agents and stuff like that, the game probably would have gotten kind of stale and the storylines would have gotten dull right away. So I'm glad they experimented with this and tried new characters out, and the new characters worked really well. And I gotta say that the story is really engaging, and while it isn't the greatest storyline ever, and it's not as great as the original Time Crisis storyline, it's a hell of a lot better than that crap-ass story in Time Crisis Project Titan with that, oh, Xavier Sprout's been assassinated, you are framed for the murder and stuff that's been done to death so many times as well. And while a story like this has been done to death, it hasn't been done as much as the other story was, that's for sure. Graphically, Time Crisis 2 looks excellent for a PlayStation 2 game, which had updated graphics over the arcade version. The character models look crisp and animate really well, and the backgrounds look nice too, and also the frame rate is very smooth throughout the entire game. My only complaint with the graphics is the lighting. It isn't the greatest, and sometimes the game looks a little too dark at times. Sound-wise, Time Crisis 2 was a huge improvement over the original game. The music is awesome, and while some of the tracks are remixes of some of the tracks from the original game, this time they are actually done really well. The voice acting is still pretty hokey like in the original game, but like I said, I don't have a problem with it because, like I said in my Time Crisis review, that a lot of arcade games like this back in the day didn't have good voice acting. One noticeable voice actor in this game is Lynn Harris, who is mainly known for voicing Rebecca Chambers in Resident Evil. She also voiced Rachel McPherson in the original Time Crisis, and here she voices Christy Ryan. And those of you who are fans of Lynn Harris, you'll recognize her voice immediately.
I knew it. These maniacs have got the military satellite. And they're moving it by train.
We better get going. There's no time to lose.
They have the attaché case. They're on to you.
That fool Yakov! How dare he fail! Hurry it up!
Yes, sir. Look over there.
Let's go!
The gameplay in Time Crisis 2 is what has improved the most over the other two games. Unlike Time Crisis Project Titan, where the gameplay was a snooze fest because the game was way too easy and had no challenges whatsoever, because all you had to do was shoot, and the crosshair changed color on you and stuff, which was a big disappointment. Here, they brought back to the roots of Time Crisis and brought the challenge factor back for the most part. This is also the first Time Crisis game to have multiplayer in it, like co-op multiplayer in it, where you and another person can team up. Like I mentioned earlier, you play as one of those two characters, Keith Martin or Robert Baxter, but in this game I'm playing as Keith because he is the player 1 character. Like in the original game, your goal is to move the crosshair and shoot, and this time the crosshair doesn't auto-lock on you and change color like I said earlier, which made Time Crisis Project Titan way too easy. And thank God for that, because if they kept going down the ways of Time Crisis Project Titan, I would have given up on the series, that's for sure, because I like challenging games like that, and when the game is way too easy, we have a problem there. A couple new things have been added here, like destructible environments, and certain parts of the game that can use a machine gun as well. There are only 3 stages in this game, and thankfully with the challenge factor, the levels can be long depending on how good you are and stuff. There are also a bunch of bonus modes you can unlock after beating the arcade mode, but I am not going to spoil those just in case people who are interested in playing this game want to check them out. I should also mention that I have a complaint with the gameplay, and that is why I did like that they brought back the challenge factor from Time Crisis. There are times where the game can still be a little too easy, but this isn't as bad as how it was with Time Crisis Project Titan, that's for sure. And I think that I have said everything I needed to say about Time Crisis 2. It's a huge improvement over Time Crisis Project Titan. It brought the series back to its roots. My final rating goes like this. Time Crisis 2 is definitely worth playing due to all the fixes they made with this game. I will say that this game isn't perfect, but it's still a hell of a lot better than what they did to Time Crisis Project Titan. I will be giving Time Crisis 2 a 9 out of 10 due to the lighting with the graphics and because the game can be a little too easy at times. Stay tuned for part 4 while we look at the second Time Crisis game I ever owned, which is also my favorite Time Crisis game in the series, Time Crisis 3. This is Tony, aka TTBurger88. Peace out and have a great day. See you all in part 4.